Hey guys, Mark here. Welcome back. Okay, so today I'm going to be painting a scene from Acadia National Park. And that's in Maine. And it's going to have some hills back in the background, a hill coming this way, maybe some land over here, a big tree over here. This, my reference is it's all gray, but I'm going to kind of change it a little bit and make it into a sunset. So my canvas is wet with white paint. I'm using a fan brush. I'm going to grab some yellow. Grab some cad yellow or lemon yellowish color. And I'll figure out where my horizon is and I'll start to add that in. That's going to mix with the white that's on there. So we're going to go across. Trying to keep it basically horizontal. Over. Now I'll go into some Indian yellow. Come up a little higher and I'll start to add that in there. Let that mix down into the brighter yellow. Now I'll take some red, crimson color, alizarin crimson. Go right above that. Start to add that in there. I'm making the colors stronger in the middle and then weaker as they go out. I'll let that blend in there. I don't want that red to get too bright on me, so I'll add a little bit of white into it, kind of soften it a little bit. Now I'm going to wash the brush and get that color off there. Get all that color off there. I'm going to paint it's a scene from Acadia National Park. It's up in Maine. Now I'm going to take a little bit of gray. Take a little bit of gray and put this in here. I don't want it too dark. Let's start to work it into the sky. Going to come down into that red area there. Some cloud shapes in there. Let me go add a little bit of blue to it. Let me see if I can find my blue here. Add a little bit of ultramarine blue to kind of soften it a little bit. Because that brown right now is I mean that gray looks a little bit too brown. So let me add a little bit of blue to it. Change that a little bit. Sort of a blue-gray. Okay, Here I have more of a straight blue color. That. I'm going to come down. Alright, now I'm going to clean this brush completely. Make sure it's 100% dry and clean. Now when I blend, I'm going to go into the white and blend upward from there. Using sort of a crisscross stroke. Come up. Just let it blend. Taking out the brush strokes. The only place I want to sort of soften a little bit of white to it. Blend in there. I'm going to put a couple of hills and stuff in the background. I'm going to take some gray color. I'm tapping a hill away in the distance. So I may add a little bit of white to that because I don't want that so dark. I'll lighten that a little bit. Out there. I'm going to wash this brush again. So get it as clean and dry as possible. just tap and soften it in there. Bottom a little bit. Take a little bit darker version of that color. Another hill that goes in front of it. Right here. Let that work in. A little lighter as it blends with the white. Wash the brush again. On the bottom, so blend that in there. There's a little hill over here, but I'm going to add a little bit of green to it, make it a little closer. So it's a bigger hill, but there's a little bit more green to it. There's some land way in the distance. I don't want it to get too dark on me, so I'm just keeping it kind of light. It's not going to look far away if I make it too dark. So. That's starting to give us some perspective, like it's coming closer to us. Now, next thing I want to do is I want to fill in the whole bottom with gray color. Make this gray. Dark on the bottom. A little bit dark on the bottom. Alright, I'll leave that alone for now. Then I'll clean my fan brush again. The fan brush, a little bit darker color. put a little bit more dark on the bottom of these hills here. God. Let me look at it from a couple feet behind. So wash that brush again. I really should have two fan brushes going, one light and one dark. Just makes it easier so I don't have to keep washing it every 5 seconds. Boot 6903, thank you. I know. I'm sure there's some pretty good fish in here. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit of white, and gray. And right in the bottom of these here, I kind of want to clean these up. These lines right here, clean them up a little bit so it's a little straighter off in the distance. I'm trying to make that distant line nice and straight there. Some white paint. It's not going to look right if it's not straight. It has to be straight, or as straight as possible. Oops, I lost my page there. So that's pretty good there. It gives us some nice background to work with. Now we're going to have another hill coming this way. Over here. Let me wash the brush again. Wash the brush again. Get all the white out of there. Put a little bit more color on my palette. Green, brown, black. Tap in some green, brown, black, or crimson into my paint. And there's going to be a hill. Let's see. It's a little higher than this one. Like right here. I'll tap it in there. It comes straight across and then straight down. It's like a little bit of a cliff back there. Straight down that way. Almost straight down. It kind of jets out a little bit right there. And Gonna come down there, get a little bit of character. I think it looked like a cliff way off in the distance. Tap it in. Come down and then come up. Come down. See how they'll make it a straight line there. Make it a little bit jagged just to give it some character there. Move back, get a little darker. It's going to come out to about here. Make it look far away. Make it a little bit smaller there. And then the angle is down towards the right, so I'll pull it down that way a little bit. A little bit more blue and black. It's a little bit too green for that distance. A little more blue and black. Pull it down a little bit more there. All right, so let me. Now I don't want this to. I don't want it to be reflected, so I'm going to take this gray. So I'm going to just pull it straight across, like that. Let me clean it. Fan brush nice and clean and dry. White. A little bit of gray color to sort of clean up the bottom here. I'm just pushing it up into the paint that's on there and pulling it out. One gray color. Pushing it up there. I don't want to see any reflection. I just want to see the gray water back there. Now I want to kind of highlight those trees a little bit, so we're going to kind of take straight green, a little bit yellow in. Sort of give them some highlights. A little white. A little bit of highlight back in the distance. I'll lighten them a little bit in the distance. That. Make them look layered, so the trees are sort of coming towards you. So it looks sort of misty back there. Put in a couple of tree tops. So I put in a couple of lines up here just to make it look like tree tops up there. So we're coming along, coming along. Now we have some land in the front here. Let me fill that in some color. Fill in there. Some land right here. It's going to come out to about here. Comes down. Tap it in there. See if I can put this thing closer here. A little better angle at it, working it. Tap it in. Gives us a little bit of a base color to work off of. Watch that bush. Way off in the distance, I want a little bit of light hitting the edge here of the land and water come together. Just a little bit here and there. Work it in here and there. Tap it on a little bit more there. A little bit more fight. Straight white, just sort of put in some patterns here, water. Here. different places. A little extra highlight here and there. That. Come that way. Back in here, a little lighter right in there. Right? We're getting there. Now the fun part. We put in some big trees in here. Grab a little bit of brown paint. A little bit of brown paint. I take my fan brush again. Like I said, should have a light and a dark brush. So I have to keep going back and forth 100 times. I'm going to take my fan brush and load it with brown. And there's a tree right here. One constant stroke down there like that. And it stops right there. I don't want too thick, but a little more defined right in there. There. So that one. And there's one smaller one right here. And then there's another one right over here. Trees over there. Now I'm going to take some green color. Green color. What time is it right now? 9:30 almost. I'm going to take a lot of green in the fan brush. Clean my hand a little bit because I'm getting dirty. And right up in here, I'll sort of push up the brush. Take a touch of paint in there so it sticks a little bit better there. And just let it, trying to make it nice and contrasty by keeping it dark. That's this plane right there. Grab a little more green paint. A couple here. There's some nice contrast in there. Here's some branches. Let that one come down a little bit more. And let me grab a little bit of brown paint. A couple of tree branches in there, trunks, limbs. And sort of a couple of these in here. Some detail. Small ones over here. That's good. Now. No. Darken the trunk a little bit. Darken this trunk a little bit. So I have a little bit more contrast going up to the sky there. Got that rubble in right there. Okay, now I want to put in some highlights on the ground out there. I'll probably make a part two. So I can sort of focus on some details more tomorrow. Right now I just want to put in some highlights. And here's some grass growing. see how I covered up my branches here? I can go back and reestablish those chunks. I went over it with the grass. The trunk looks like it's in front of the grass there. That's it. Light up here. Alright, so I'm going to stop there. I'll come back tomorrow. I just want to come back so I can increase the details instead of trying to do it all at one time. And I'll probably put like a dead tree maybe coming across here and a little path over here and work on some of these banks over here in the background. And we'll have it. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time.